Your brain is lying to you. Imagine you're walking down the street in a sketchy neighbourhood and somebody is walking towards you. Of the information that you've gathered from the ski mask to the secluded, dimly lit sidewalk, you perceive this man is a threat to your safety. But in reality, the only thing he wanted to assault was your nose with the lovely aroma of a freshly picked sunflower. Human perception occurs when things that we expect to happen internally, such as memories based off of previous situations, our environment, and evidence we already have, meets an external experience. This is Keep It Simple Sid, where I dive into different topics about human behaviour and share my personal thoughts and nuances and hopefully a different perspective to create an environment for discussion and understanding on why people do what they do. Today's episode is on perception. Just like every person's life journey is uniquely theirs, our brains are like a thumbprint. No one's brain is exactly alike, and we all perceive things differently. As we decided in our head, this flower assailant was a threat. Our perception is a reality we create in our own mind. Everyone on earth is living in their own reality, and what we perceive to be happening in our world may not have significance in everyone else's. No one on this earth can uniquely perceive the world exactly like you do. From childhood, our minds are moulded and shaped into believing different things, especially the stories we create about ourselves and other people. In adolescence, the tone is set for who dangerous people are, what's expected of us, what conforming behaviour looks like, and many other ways to differentiate between good and bad. And we carry this perception with us for the rest of our lives, especially if left unchecked. Perception allows us to view the world from a unique lens, but there is a gap present between our perceptive reality and our physical, worldly reality. As humans, we crave the desire to draw conclusion and create narratives to support our emotions. Because of this gap, this is where we can jump to conclusions and fill in our own blanks. For example, we often see viral videos online of older people eating food alone in public places. The comments are flooded with people assuming that this person is depressed and lonely. Meanwhile, this man could be simply existing and is enjoying a moment of silence to grab a quick bite before heading off to see his grandchildren. We tend to draw conclusions and make assumptions based on our own perceptions about external experiences. In many situations, we can make ourselves physically sick over the assumption that our perception is truth rather than a figment of our imagination. Panic attacks demonstrate this. With the lack of a clear head, you simply cannot function. But suffering occurs more in our thoughts than our reality. Studies show we have between 6,000 and 70,000 thoughts per day. And when you build a reality based on an untrue perception like you're not good enough or you will never achieve a goal, you can begin to spiral. But it's important to understand that thoughts are normal, but the act of fixated thinking is a conscious choice you can alter. How you choose to create and mould your perceptive reality is completely on you and you only, because you are the only person that has to live in that reality. Being aware of our perception and its impact on those around us can also affect how we view people. When your friend always talks about how they want to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym but never follow through, you may begin to subconsciously draw conclusions about the type of person they are and fill in the gap with an assumption of the reason for their behaviours. But when it's you not following through with the commitments you've made, all of a sudden it's a more complex situation in which all excuses are valid. On the surface, this looks like a lack of accountability, but with regards to perception, it's an empathy issue. When people fall short, we often judge others on their actions, whereas we judge ourselves based on our intent. We extend grace to ourselves, since we know the full scope of our situation, but we don't give the same compassion to others when assessing their shortcomings. We think we know how things would be done if we were in others' situations, but the fact is we're not. To lessen the chances of misunderstandings in our lives and bridge the gap between perception and reality is to show compassion. Remember that a judging mind judges, and a freeing life is one in which, regardless of how your perception was moulded, consciously choose to fill that gap between perceptive reality and our external human experiences with a positive and empathetic narrative. Keep it here and keep it simple, Sid.